We could begin with that black woman, Mama. You know, the black woman that many countries has like identified her as being a savage. When they first saw her without any clothes, everybody was amazed. This woman is naked. Not that she's natural, she is naked. But she didn't know that. My mama didn't know that she was naked. That is the way she was since creation, the natural way to be. But the foreigners saw her as a savage. And many of us, her children, we also collaborate. And we think that it is correct, the way that we see her. And we, her children, also say she was a savage. You know the PhD professor with his suit and his tie, when he's told that his beginning began with a black woman without no clothes, is embarrassing. Is what, like Mr. Hamid Blewett said to us, shame takes over. I am ashamed of my history because it began with a naked woman in the forest of Africa. But that naked woman was more than just an image that you saw in your eyes that was running around crazy. She was saying that we could live without any clothes. My mama could live without any clothes in the forests of Africa, and she could walk around and nobody was jumping on her. Well, was she a savage? Or was she showing that she lived in a highly ethical and moral society? You know the conversation that I had in Brazil where the Russian said, hey, before you say something about your people, just remember that your mama didn't have any clothes on just 500 years ago. I said, but Mladenov, why did you stop without no clothes? What do you mean? I said, but you're saying that my mama didn't have any clothes on 500 years ago, but she didn't have any supermarkets, and she didn't have any doctors. She didn't have any hospitals. She did not have any disease. Mama didn't have any clothes on. That's all. Well, mama didn't have alcohol. Mama didn't have any drugs. Mama didn't have any money. And by the way, we are going to go into it a little bit more. You see what happened? Like everything else that's occurring today in this 20th century, we misinterpret. We black people, we have been vulnerable to the research that others has done about our mama. But as we look closer, we find that mama was ethical and moral and shameless. I wish that we could do that now. We could think that she was a savage. You tell your woman today to walk the streets without no clothes on and see who is the savage. So as we leave that part of mama where she shows that she was highly ethical and that she lived in a very beautiful environment with her brothers and her sisters, now we go into her diet. That's very important because you see, her diet it was consistent with her cellular predisposition. Her diet was like the eagle. The eagle doesn't eat the diet of the quetzal bird because the quetzal eats only fruits and seeds, also the lovebird from Africa. But when you go to the eagle, which is a bird, he eats meat. The eagle eats meat. Then we leave that bird, we go to the gorilla and the polar bear, like I like to use. The polar bear has to kill his food. He eats blood. Not so for the gorilla. He has nothing to do with blood. His is leave. He doesn't have to kill his food. His food is all around him. So this question I'm reading to is this. The gorilla has his food designed by nature. The eagle has its food designed by nature or God. Do you believe that we are exempt? No, we are not. We are not exempt. We have to follow that same law, that rule, that cosmic arrangement, the one that dictates, not the one that is philosophy, the one that dictates from the core of life since creation. We are subjected to that same law. There's a little frog in Puerto Rico. They call it the coqui. That little frog, if any of you have visited Puerto Rico, you will hear that little frog all night singing, coqui, coqui, coqui. If you move that frog from the island of Puerto Rico and put it 7 kilometers away, Vieques, the frog dies. The frog will die. The frog would no longer sing. We are seeing that this frog is showing us that the frog has to live within that cosmic arrangement to survive, to live at its optimum level of life and expression. Well, are we exempt? Our mother didn't have any rice and beans, hog maws and chitlins. Our mother didn't eat garbage, and she didn't produce garbage. She didn't have ham because she didn't eat meat. Well, this is interesting now, isn't it? Our mother didn't eat meat? No. There were no cows in Africa. They didn't have any hogs or chicken, lamb or goat. Those things aren't African. But there are many Africans today that believe that yams are African. Cassava is African. When an African believes that these things are African or natural, well, it only means that we have to go and do further research. That's all. We have to go and do further research. Something has been derailed. Or we have been derailed. So when you believe that starches, such as yams, was part of your diet, well, that's it. Slavery is back again, or never left. So our mother, living in an alkali environment, didn't eat the things that would bring disease. This is why she showed that she didn't need a hospital. But there's something else about this black woman in the jungles of Africa. She didn't have any serial killers. She didn't have any children that were disobedient. There was no chaos. There was peace. Myself, unlike most of my brothers and sisters, who has been to Egypt and they did research on Ramses and Nefertiti, Cleopatra. I was never interested in Egyptian history. No, never. Maybe just to know that it occurred. Not that I was interested to extrapolate from Egypt any substance that would support and enhance my life. No, Egypt doesn't have any of those components. But I could travel a little bit west from Egypt, and I could go into the jungles of Africa. Yeah, the jungle where my mama lived. In that environment, I could find a plant known as Kankansa, which if you are 90 or 100 years of age and you find yourself at a deficit sexually, you only have to take Kankansa once and you are renewed again. That you get out the jungles. Then we stay in the jungles. There's another one called Sia. It's a plant that Michael Jackson's son had the opportunity to receive the benefit from. He had a tumor in his frontal lobe and he sneezed that out in 20 minutes. That herb is another jungle herb. Then we go a little bit now to the south of Guinea and we find Namibia. Namibia has another plant known as the Hoodia. This is a plant that upon ingesting it, you will not eat for days because it is nourishing every cell in your body. Then we go to the Iboga, Cameroon. The great Iboga, the plant that relaxes the body and places the body in a state of bliss. There could be no emotional problem. But those of you that have traveled to Egypt came back with souvenirs. You came back with souvenirs. I didn't come with any souvenirs from the jungle. Came back with a healing. Because somewhere in my little journey on this planet, I heard some things from my parents. I was very obedient. I'm still obedient. My mother and my grandmother, Mama Hay, never had any complaint from the neighbors of the community that Fred did something to offend them. No, I didn't indulge in that. Mama? Yes, Tupac. You did a good job, Tupac, when you talk about Mama. Mama? Mama didn't have toilets. Mama didn't need a toilet. I remember once, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, there was an argument with me and a professor from UCLA. And this man was trying his endeavor best to show me that the Europeans have to be given credit. We have to give them credit for inventing the toilet. And I looked at Alfred. I said, I must be very wrong. I must be very, very, very mistaken. Because this man is a professor at UCLA. And he's telling me that the invention of the toilet was the greatest invention ever because I could flush my acid fecal matter to the ocean. Listen carefully now. He is trying to win an argument against me, which I never try to win or lose. I cannot win or lose. I don't go into a debate or a dialogue to win. It is about understanding. I don't debate with anyone. I don't have to do that. But he, Alfred, said that because the Europeans invented the toilet, that he deserved much credit. So my response to Alfred was this: Alfred, my history shows that Mama didn't need a toilet because everything that she ate was alkali. Because it was alkali, it didn't leave any residuals of poison or acid in her fecal matter when it was broken down in her intestine by the villi. Mama could take her feces and put them in the ground again, and it should have smelled good.